Hello, beautiful people. It is Saturday in London. It's gloomy. It's a bit chilly, but it's not as cold as it has been. And yeah, so let's just talk about what I wore last week. I'm going to start with the one I talked about loads last week, so we can kind of skip over it relatively quickly, because this is what I was wearing last week when I filmed my last videos. I would say it's quite a high percentage chance that I'll wear this again this week, because it is my current obsession. So this is Choco Musk from Al Rahab. So as I said last week, I'm going to make sure, let's make super sure that this is in focus, because I had a bit of an unfocused start to the second part last week. So I have now got the oil as well. I've just set up so I can make a video about the Choco Musk range, comparing the perfumes, spray perfumes, to the oils. And I won't go too in deep about the differences now, because to be honest, like, I'll talk about it in that other video, but also there aren't massive differences, but there is something about this spray which I much prefer to the oil, and it's really hard for me to explain why. The only thing I can think to say is that I find the scent bubble in the perfume smells like instant cocoa powder and is kind of fluffy and soft and yummy, whereas I felt that the oil wasn't quite so fluffy. It doesn't have quite that same scent. It's maybe a bit more vanillic, maybe there's a bit more of the amber and that kind of thing. I think that might just be how my skin reacts to it. I don't know. It felt a little bit more overwhelming in the oil form than it does in the spray. So personally, I prefer the spray, and that's the one that I would advise to get, unless you're like on a mega budget, because the oil will last probably forever, and it's even cheaper than the spray. But they're both, I mean, they're not even affordable. They're like fully cheap. And for the price, this is amazing. A bit alcoholic at first, totally goes away, and it just turns into something very cozy and yummy. You'll actually notice, like this week, if I look at what I've been wearing, I've worn 5 perfumes from the part of my display that is basically vanillas, tonkas, honeys and caramels. So I needed comfort this week, because it was a rough week. Work has been like super intense, and I was just, it was all a bit much this week, so I just needed cozy, comfort, yummy, do you know what I mean? So anyway, the notes in Al Rahab, the stuff that the notes that are listed anyway for the perfume: vanilla, chocolate, musk, spices, cinnamon, amber, sandalwood, oriental woodsy notes, and rose. In the oil, they also list, I think it's myrrh that they list in that one. But yeah, so it's beautiful. I love it. And the other thing I want to mention in conjunction with this is that I did want to try, so let's push to say over here, I wanted to compare to my Al Nuaim chocolate musk. So I wanted to compare the two and see if I still felt the same. And I do, which is basically that I think Al Rahab Choco Musk is kind of a vanilla with some chocolate, chocolatey, sweet sugary note in there. You know, I can get the spices, I can get the ambers. It's a little bit more perfumey, even in the oil. Whereas the Al Nuaim chocolate musk it's definitely still got vanilla. It's definitely still has a slightly synthetic chocolate, but it's caramelly. And it doesn't have quite the same spicy ambery feel that Choco Musk does. So I've never smelt the spray version of this, and I can't talk to whether that's any good or not, or if it even smells anything like it. And I have a feeling it comes in an aerosol can rather than like a perfume spray, so I've no idea if that's any good or not. But this oil, which again, you can also get this from Amazon. I'm pretty sure I got mine from Amazon back in the day. So this one, because they're both so like chocolate, Choco Musk or whatever, I keep wanting to get them wrong. So Chocolate Musk by Al Nuaim, which is not on Fragrantica, no matter how many times I've asked them to add it. This says gourmand notes: cocoa, caramel, vanilla, chocolate praline, and then it's got orange blossom, ylang ylang, hiding banana nuances. And to me, this one, so Choco musk smells like when you first open a kind of box of instant hot chocolate powder. I think chocolate musk smells like a Rolo dessert. One of those kind of cheap and cheerful chocolate and caramel flavoured kind of puddingy things. It's pudding the American version of we just call them kind of dessert pots. I don't really know that we have a name for them. It's like, it's not a mousse. It's kind of creamy and smooth. But yeah, it's not like crown caramel or anything. But yeah, if you know the Rolo dessert, you'll know what I mean. It has that kind of cooked cream, slightly UHT-y, like the carnation dulce de leche, you know? Like a more of an evaporated or, you know, something like that, evaporated milk rather than a natural one. But I love those little Rolo desserts, and I love that kind of caramelly, toffee caramelly smell that you get from them. And that's what I get from this. I said I wouldn't talk about it for longer than I did, but, you know, only because I'm talking about the dubs. So, what should we talk about next? Oh, yeah, let's do this one. Because this was my first full wear of this, guys. It was time. This is Serge Lutens, and this is Un Bois Vanille. This is a perfume that I blind bought because I heard the lovely Amy from Save a Salvage Scent talking about it. She really sold it to me. And I really wanted to try it, and I saw it on a deal for £50 for a bottle that I think is normally way over 100. So I just bit the bullet, knowing I'd be able to sell it on easily enough. But I'm not going to sell it because it's beautiful. This is Serge Lutens Un Bois Vanille, and this is a perfume that I reckon... I mean, I have to say... Can you see it better like that? Yeah, probably. I really enjoyed wearing it, but I still enjoyed Choco Musk more because, I don't know, I feel like there's a part of my soul that really enjoys a lot of very cheap and affordable perfumes. But this is really beautiful. It feels a little bit more special occasion to me. And it might be psychosomatic because I know it is more expensive. But I also think it's partly because I think it's more complicated. That it feels like there's more going on. You can smell different nuances in this, but it has a lot of notes that I really, really enjoy. So this is vanilla, coconut, beeswax, black licorice, sandalwood, tonka bean, bitter almond, benzoin, guaiac wood and musk. I got this because I really like licorice. I really do appreciate a beeswax note. I like almond, I like tonka, I like benzoin, like the vanilla and the coconut, the sandalwood. The only thing in this... was the guaiac wood that was making me think it could go wrong. But I don't think the guaiac wood's massively strong. I think it just almost gives this tiny hint of something a bit smoky, mixing with that licorice, which can also come across as a bit smoky. It's sweet. I mean, if I look at the votes here, vanilla is at the top by a very long way, and then the coconut and the beeswax, followed by the licorice. Now, it comes across slightly differently to me because I know that this is described as vanilla, and I think Un Bois Vanille means a vanilla wood or something like that. And I don't really find it particularly woody, but I didn't wear it feeling like I was wearing like a vanilla. I think that might be because there's something about the combination of a beeswax, like a waxy textured honey kind of note, with a creamy coconutty note that comes across to me like some kind of honey caramel. So this kind of feels more like a licorice flavoured, slightly smoky vanilla caramel to me on my skin. And I feel like the musk is voted right down at the bottom, but I really can smell the musk here. I think this is really pretty. It's quite refined, but it is sweet. Not overwhelmingly strong. And again, if you do not like licorice, you will not like this perfume, because there's a lot of licorice in it. So it's for licorice lovers only, I'd say. I don't think it's done in a way that would mean people who really genuinely don't like licorice notes would enjoy it personally. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really beautiful. It's quite special, I'd say. So it feels like a special occasion perfume, even though I wore it to work, because I was just like, oh, when's the next time I'm even going to have a special occasion? So it does remind me a little bit of one that I had from Jean Arthur's once, which is it called something? Let me have a look at what it's called. Gui Pearl and Silk Ylang Vanille, except that that one had something in it that smelled quite plasticky to me. However, it does ring a bell with this kind of profile. It is a little bit similar, and other people have voted for that as well. But it's not a dupe, I don't think, if you see what I mean. But there is something there. And let me just have a look at other comparisons. Yeah, I don't really know most of the other comparisons. I think it's lovely, but I've looking at the reviews of this. This does seem to be a bit of a Marmite perfume. Like, some people think it smells like dusty potpourri. Actually, someone here has said it gives similar vibes to Lulu by Cacharel. I don't see that at all. Like, I don't get that at all from here. But I do almost wonder if what that person is referring to is a texture and a feeling. Because this is a bit waxy and strange. But I think because it has that licorice in, which can be quite waxy if it's the sweet version, and it has the beeswax, which is obviously a bit waxy, and Lulu has quite an oppressive feel. It seems like to most people this probably wouldn't be a safe blind buy, but unfortunately, like, I don't think it's that easy to get somewhere to smell Serge Lutens, and I didn't find it easy to find samples of this, which is why I ended up just blind buying when I saw it for a good price. I feel like I'm already going to have to edit this so much. I keep hiccuping and, oh, anyway. So, let's go to the next one, my loves. So, this is the one that I wore on Sunday, when, again, I needed cozy comfort, and this was just the thing I was thinking of, because I made a video about what I'm looking forward to wear for Christmas, and I was thinking about testing out Ginger Babe again. I think, is that from Aroma Concepts? I think so. And then I was thinking, I've got a perfume that I find very gingery, so I'm going to wear that and I'm going to compare. So this is What Would Love Do from Lush, and unfortunately this is a discontinued scent. Look at this lovely colour. It's discontinued. I always vote for this one when they put votes up for perfumes and body sprays that people want to bring back, or products that people want in a perfume form. They have actually got a bunch of new ones coming up soon, so as soon as they come to store, I will go and smell them. But this one never seems to get through, and it's such a shame, because I think this is such a beautiful perfume, and my husband really likes this as well. So this is, I mean, technically, as far as I know, there isn't ginger in this. No, it's, let's have a look. Benzoin, resinoid, tangerine oil, lavender oil, cinnamol, cinnamate, coumarin, geraniol, all the classic ones that are in the Lush perfumes. So, I mean, technically, they're really only giving you 3 notes for this, which is tangerine, lavender, and benzoin. But it kind of smells like gingerbread to me. I mean, I don't know what to say. The benzoin, well, benzoin generally smells like gingerbread to me, but in Lush it really smells like gingerbread to me. I have people on my channel, when I mention this sometimes, like real Lushies, who massively disagree with me. But I genuinely get ginger from this. There's something about that benzoin. I love lavender, but if you just gave this to me, I'm not really sure that I would say it was lavender, and I wonder if that is because there's so much benzoin. And I think the tangerine, the citrusiness here with the sweetness, does give me that kind of, well, almost a ginger biscuit, I guess. Like, when I say gingerbread, like, not the kind of cakey version of that, but biscuits. So I compared it to ginger biscuit, and I was like, well, I like this better than ginger biscuit, and it's giving me the same kind of vibe, so that's good, because I've got a little sample of the ginger biscuit. It's a Ginger Babe, I should say, which is a dupe of Ginger Biscuit from Jo Malone. My goodness, guys, I hope I'm not driving you mad with my rambling today. I'm all over the place. But yeah, I mean, so I'm good. So I'm just going to wear this because I love this and I love how it dries down on me. It's a classic Lush. You spray it on, it smells kind of wild at first because I think that's when you're getting most of the lavender and the kind of real citrusy notes. And then it kind of gets warmer and warmer and it gets really cozy. And it is so cozy. I really wish they'd bring this back. It's a shame they don't do it anymore. But, ooh, really sent those flying. Yeah, it just smells so warm, spicy to me. But I'm quite happy that in a way Ginger Babe has something that crosses over here because you can get Ginger Babe still. Obviously, you can still buy that. It's quite Christmassy. So I put in my Christmas video that I was looking forward to trying out my little sample of Ginger Babe so I could decide if I wanted a bottle. But yeah, I mean, no, I don't want a bottle of Ginger Babe because it reminds me of this enough to make me think I should wear this, and I prefer this, and I love this. So yeah, that is what Would Love do from Lush, and if you can get it, let me just see. Yeah, I think there's some on eBay from the looks of it. If you can get it, and you like kind of a gingerbready kind of smell, if you like lavender and you like citrus, and I just think it's so beautiful, and I wish they would bring it back. So yeah, that was a beautiful Sunday. It's also strong as hell, so I think I put a little bit more between my wrists because I'd been cooking and stuff. So, always washing your hands. So, I put it on in the morning, and then I maybe topped it up a little bit on my hands and wrists in later on in the day. But apart from that, I never sprayed it on my neck again because it's really strong. So lovely though. All right, and I'm afraid if you guys are not into kind of vanilla-y smells, this is probably going to be a bit of a boring episode because I've got quite a lot of vanillas. Let's go for this guy first. It was time, my loves. I had a really cold day, and I think you can wear this in warmer weather, but it just feels right in colder weather. So, this probably the most valuable perfume I have in my collection in terms of how much the recommended retail price is, but I got this as a partial. So this is Babycat from Yves Saint Laurent. Smoky, yummy. Oh, and I have a husband update on this one. So let's just talk about the perfume in its form first. Now then, the notes here. Top notes of black and pink pepper and elemi. Middle notes of olibanum and saffron. Base notes of bourbon, vanilla, suede, and is that cedar? Yeah, cedar. So this perfume is, what's the name of it? It's a Dominic Ropion, that's the one. And he also did what I consider to be a dupe of this, which is the Penhaligon's Oh the Audacity. That one's very similar, but I don't like it as much. And then the other one, which I have a little sample of, is I think the original, which is the Vanagloria from Laboratorio Olfactivo. Is it called? Yeah. Roxy very kindly, when she sent me a bunch of samples, she sent me through that one. And I still, out of all three of them, even though Vanagloria is the original, Babycat is my favourite version of this scent profile. The Vanagloria has like a pineapple note in it, which is quite interesting, but I definitely don't like it as much. The reason I don't like Oh the Audacity as much is because I think there's an element of this that is really amped up in Oh the Audacity, and that is the bourbon vanilla. So the bourbon vanilla in this, in colder weather, comes across to me kind of caramelized, quite caramelly. And it was interesting because I wore this one to work, and I was like, oh gosh, yeah. Now I'm wearing this in actual like really chilly weather. It actually smells like vanilla and caramel with a smokiness to me, with like a smoky suede note, almost an incensey feel to it. And I think when I've tried this in warmer weather, I get less of that caramelly note. But in the Oh the Audacity, the caramel feel to the bourbon vanilla, or whatever they've got in that one, is way more sweet and caramelly. I felt like that one was cloying, whereas this one's nicely balanced. And I think maybe the Vanagloria is the least kind of sickly caramelly, maybe because the pineapple cuts through it a bit. But this is really beautiful. I really, really like this one. Now, when I gave this on a strip to my husband when we were making a video, which we'll have to make another one very soon. I think we'll probably do one, like a more festive one or something, or at least we'll film it nearer Christmas. So we will film another one together soon, because he does come out with some funny things. And what he said about Babycat is that it smelt like a tree doused in chemicals. And I was like, cool. Okay, so the most expensive perfume that I actually own, even if I didn't spend full price in any way on this, I think this was under £100, because it was, you know, I think this is a 125ml bottle actually, so it's not a bad deal, because it was almost half full, I think. Yeah, so a tree doused in chemicals, and therefore when I got home from work, I deliberately got him to smell me, and I said, how do I smell? And he said, you smell kind of just, you know, sweet. And to be clear, he doesn't really care about vanilla perfumes. He's not really interested. He much prefers something a bit fruity. Occasionally he likes something a bit floral. He sometimes likes things that have a little bit of sweetness and vanilla in, but he's generally very uninterested in vanillas. So his response when I'm wearing something, even if it's as complex as this, is you just kind of smell sweet, kind of vanilla. I think he said caramel, actually. I think, oh, maybe toffee, he said. So he was obviously getting this kind of bourbon vanilla caramelized scent. And I was like, do you like it? And he was like, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of sweet. And I said, this is the one that you said smelt like a tree doused in chemicals. And he said, oh no, it doesn't smell like that on you. So there you go. On paper, not great. So also, just to say, I do also have a pen spray, which, I mean, I just don't need it because I have this. And Roxy also, before I actually got this one, she did send me like a little decant of Babycat, so I don't need the Cat, but the Cat from Paris Corner, I don't get quite the same vanillic smell, but it is equally sweet, and I think it's really very similar, and it's really good, and that's always the one I'd advise to get if you want, like, I mean, because this is so expensive, if you can't get like a decant or a second-hand bottle the way that I did, then, or if you just don't want to spend that kind of money, I think Cat's really, really good. And particularly because if you get it from somewhere like Notino, you can actually get the 15ml pen sprays like I have. And they're like £6 or something, like for 15ml. So, and it's quite strong, like you don't need much of it. And it really does replicate the Babycat feel. So that's what I'd say if you want an affordable version. But yeah, it was really fun to wear. And I really wish I'd worn my leather jacket. I feel like it would have gone so well, but I just didn't really have the outfit on for it. And then another day, and this was actually a day when I was going to work and I was in a rush and I was panicking and I didn't know what to put on. And so I thought, this is a safe bet. God, it's so lovely. This is definitely getting better as it sits. And you can probably see the juice is getting darker as well. This is Angham from Lattafa. It's just a lovely gingery lavender vanilla. Absolutely gorgeous. I think this has definitely got sweeter the longer I've had it. It's 100% got stronger the longer I've had it. And the ginger has got stronger for me. I think when I first got this one, I said there's not as much ginger in it as the original Burberry Goddess, which this is a dupe of. And I do still think that Burberry Goddess has a bit of a stronger ginger. But I do think also the ginger has got stronger in this the longer that I've had it. Or at least it's developed to smell more like ginger. Because I think at first I was getting a little bit of a kind of kitchen cleaner scent from this when I first sprayed it, and then it turned into this delicious kind of aromatic vanilla. But yeah, it's so lovely. I was actually watching Kat talk about this, and her she dropped her bottle because this whole thing came off, and I can feel how it's like not quite tight on there, and now I'm really nervous that I'm going to drop this at some point as well. But to be fair, I do tend to pick it up like this. I've got quite big hands, so hopefully I'm not going to drop it, because it would be a bit, I mean, it's not expensive, but it would be quite heartbreaking. Imagine if I drop this. This though, that's a magnetic cap, baby. It's so magnetic I can barely pull it off. I love it. I love a magnetic cap. There we go. So the notes listed for Lattafa's Angham: ginger, mandarin and pink pepper in the top, and then lavender, praline, cacao and jasmine in the mid. Base notes: vanilla, amber, musk. What I love about this one is that it is cosy, but it's not too thick, it's not too strong. It doesn't feel as heavy to wear as like Babycat, for instance. It's kind of got an airy freshness about it because of that ginger, because of that lavender, because of that mandarin. And it's got that lovely warm spicy, but I think the praline in this one adds to that vanilla to make it a little bit sweeter than Goddess. I still really like Goddess. It does have a little bit of that tarry aroma chemical floating around in there somewhere that I don't love, which then in the other versions of Burberry Goddess has become like real strong. I mean, in Burberry Goddess, I think it's Burberry Goddess Intense, is it? It's just full tar. Gross. But I also have to say, I really do like Rare Beauty. I think if you like the idea or you like the profile of this, but you don't enjoy the lavender, I think Rare Beauty is kind of like a caramelly version of this without the lavender. It smells almost identical in terms of the profile, but like I've said before, I absolutely love lavender. So it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I would never be irritated by the fact something has lavender in it. I think it might be one of my all-time favourite perfume notes. But if you don't like it, then I do think Rare Beauty is really good. And honestly, I had to really stop myself from buying that one as well because I did really like it. But I do think this is my favourite of all of the Burberry Goddess style profiles. I don't think I can find a way to not blind you with this. I'm really going to put it on an angle. It's so dark today, guys, that it's only 2 o'clock and I've got all of my curtains closed and my lights on to do this because it was just so gloomy. All right. And then I've only got 2 to go here, but then I've just realised I tested something that I need to talk about. So I wonder where the thing is, though. All right, so continuing in the kind of honey and caramel and vanilla. I also wore Illicit this week from Choo, which I really love this bottle. I really, really do like this bottle. I really like the colour of the juice. It never really shines the way it should. I also always like to have because this is a square lid, I don't like to have it square on for some reason. I always like to have it on this angle. I just think it looks cooler. Anyway, none of that really matters, does it? But Choo Illicit. Let's just see if it wants to brighten up a bit, because frankly, it's so dark in here. Probably didn't do anything. Choo Illicit has top notes of ginger and bitter orange. I've worn a lot of ginger, haven't I? It is that time of year, to be fair. It's the festive time of year. Middle notes of jasmine, sambac, orange blossom and rose. Base notes of honey, amber, caramel, vanilla, sandalwood and cashmere wood. I really like the honey in this. I really like the caramel in this. I do get the ginger and the bitter orange, but I also get a very floral smell here. I definitely get orange blossom, probably some jasmine. This has like a kind of smooth caramelly version of the scent that you get from Cinema by YSL, which I also have. That one smells less caramelly. There's not honey in it, but it does kind of smell like a honeyed vanilla floral in a way. That one's more powdery. It smells a little bit more vintage, but like not in an old-fashioned way. It just smells, I think, rather than vintage, it smells a bit classic. It smells very ladylike. And Illicit smells like a less powdery, gourmand version of Cinema. It's kind of a little bit more fun. It's a little bit more sweet. It's still quite floral though. So it's definitely, to me, a flormond, this perfume. I really, really enjoyed wearing this. Same, like whenever I wear Cinema, I feel so ladylike and I really enjoy it. This one I just think is a little bit more fun and yummy, but maybe a little less serious. Like if I was going to a fancy event, I would choose Cinema. If I was going to a fun event, I would choose Illicit. Does that make any sense? So I really think that this one is tasty. It's warm. It's cozy. It's not overwhelmingly strong, but it does last quite a long time on me, this one. Like, I didn't need to keep reapplying this at all. I took it into work and I just smelled good all day. Was really digging it. I think I wore this on the day where I had like a bit of bad news at work and was like, oh no, and I wasn't having the greatest day, to be honest. But this was a nice, cheerful perfume to wear. And I think it is cheerful, actually. There's nothing melancholy about Illicit. There's nothing illicit about it either. But there you go. So, this, therefore, can be quite a good alternative to YSL Cinema, which is an expensive perfume that is possibly discontinued, but I do still see it around. And I think it's a much, much nicer version of the Boucheron perfume called Place Vendôme. I had a sample of that one and I found it quite screechy, but it is very similar in the dry down to Illicit. So it's just like basically 3 options for perfumes that pretty much have the same profile. I actually recently got another perfume that I'll talk about in a haul quite soon, as soon as I get a chance. To be fair, with all the videos I've got lined up, the chances are you'll see me wear it before you'll see it in one of these before you see a haul. But I did just get something that in the dry down I kept thinking to myself, is something about this reminding me of Cinema? And then I went and checked and I voted for Cinema and it popped up that other people have said the same thing. So I might technically have 3 perfumes that have a little bit of a Cinema smell to them, but anyway, I really enjoy it, so I'm not complaining. So that's Illicit. And then this is the one I wore yesterday when I was working from home. And what I was doing yesterday was making a very British interpretation of a Thanksgiving dinner. So I did a croissant stuffing, which was, I guess in some parts of America they call it a dressing. So it's like bread and herbs and stock. And so it's basically a little bit like our stuffing, but not quite. So I made that. I made a big mac and cheese. I made a ham and I made a turkey. So like I was basically working from home, and then like every now and again I'd just go and put something else in the oven and take something else out. I'd done a lot of prep, the night before. What else did I make? Green beans, obviously, but I've had the green bean casserole, I think it's called, and even the homemade version, it's not for me, and I knew my husband wouldn't eat that, so I didn't do that. But we had cranberry sauce, and sweet potato mash, because I feel like sometimes in the UK we don't really understand the whole sweet potato casserole thing, because I don't want to really add sugar to sweet potato because I already find it quite sweet. So like I said, a very disrespectful version of a Thanksgiving. And today for lunch I had a massive sandwich with stuffing and turkey and cranberry sauce. And so anyway, that's a very long way of saying I was doing a lot of cooking yesterday, and it was quite festive cooking. And I was like, what can I wear? Because I didn't wear anything for most of the day at all, because I knew I was just going to start to smell of food anyway. So I went and cleaned myself up, and then I thought, what am I going to wear? I thought, I want to wear something that my husband enjoys, but I also want to wear something that maybe feels like it fits with something Thanksgiving-y. So I wanted something that maybe felt almost a bit spicy. And then I just had this thought in my head, maybe something a bit balsamic, because I was using red wine in the gravy. And I was like, oh, I know what I can wear. And also because I was like, I don't know, I just sniffed it and I was like, this feels right. It does. I think this smells festive. I've been talking for ages without putting it on the thing because I'm sorry for being so annoying. Rive, Fleur de Femme, and very annoyingly, they do not make this anymore. I've checked, I've looked everywhere. I think it's been discontinued. But luckily, you can still get what this is duping, which is Dior Poison Girl, the original Poison Girl. Now, personally, I prefer this one just because this has a sour cherry note in it, which, I don't know, I just really dig cherry, so I just really enjoy this. If you ever do see it anywhere for a good price, I think it's really nice, and I slightly prefer it to the original Dior Poison Girl. But I think that this kind of scent profile does feel kind of festive. So the notes here are almond, sour cherry, bitter orange and peach, mid-notes of sandalwood, jasmine, neroli and patchouli, rose and cedar, and then the base notes of vanilla, tonka bean and musk. Now, I'm going to actually have a look at the original Poison Girl because I don't really know why this smells spicy to me, but it does smell warm spicy. The original is bitter orange and lemon, rose, orange blossom, vanilla, almond, tonka, Toulouse balsam, sandalwood, heliotrope and cashmerian. So, I mean, apart from the Toulouse Balsam, I don't really know why it smells a bit warm, spicy to me. But even, yeah, if I look at the main accords on Fragrantica for Poison Girl, it says warm, spicy. So I guess it's not just me who feels like that. Now, there are obviously a couple of different versions of Poison Girl. So what I'll say, though, is what you could look for. Oh, bloody hell. My phone's already popping off, guys. So because Fleur de Femme is not in production anymore, you obviously could try to find the original Poison Girl or Poison Girl EDT, which is my preferred version over the original, or Poison Girl Unexpected, which is my favourite of those three, because that's full of ginger. And that would be perfect for this time of year if it wasn't for the fact that I think it actually smells better on me personally in summer, because it's quite light, that version. But what I want to say, I'm just looking to see if I can find it, because I have had another dupe. There it is. Okay, so let me show you the thing you can look for a really affordable version, because they don't make this anymore. So this is Tank for Her by Replay. And I've had this one, and the reason I got rid of it is because it smelt so much like Poison Girl, the original. So the notes in that one, yeah, I mean, you can see it's bitter orange, apple, tuberose, rose, jasmine, base notes, praline, vanilla, sandalwood and musk. I do kind of wonder if the original Poison Girl has a little bit of tuberose in it sometimes. But anyway, so I mean, I really think that Tank for Her by Replay, that is a really good dupe of Poison Girl, the original eau de parfum. So yeah, and that's the top vote for it as well. So I think that will be a good one to go for if you want a more affordable version, if you can't get this, which you probably can't, because I'm totally sure they have discontinued the bloody thing. All right. I did smell one other thing this week. From L'Occitane. I was basically walking to the tube, and I walked past L'Occitane, so I nipped in to smell their new festive perfume, which is called Nuit Festive. There you go. Nuit Festive. So it's in quite a plain bottle. They have started changing their bottles, because they've changed like Melio. They're all in like different bottles now. But so this one, I mean, I'll start by saying I'm pretty sure it's full of ambroxan. I have increasingly found that L'Occitane are using more and more of the aroma chemicals that I don't like. Quite a lot of their perfumes have a very obvious large amount of ambroxan in, and some of the more recent ones also have that tarry aroma chemical in that I don't like, possibly Ambrofix, whatever the hell it is. So I wasn't really surprised that I found this one a little bit screechy, which I think probably means there's ambroxan in it. But the notes that they give you for it, blackcurrant in the top, almond milk in the mid, and vanilla in the base. Sounds quite straightforward. I'm not sure it particularly smells exactly like those notes, but yeah, so it was a little bit screechy. It was quite fruity. And then it smelled like Scarlet Poppy from Jo Malone. The newest version of that, or at least the one in the dark bottle, the current version of Scarlet Poppy, which I think is more jammy and fruity than the original, which is a little bit more kind of almost barley-like. So Nuit Festive is kind of a screechier, possibly slightly fruitier version of the current formulation of Jo Malone's Scarlet Poppy to my nose. That's what I think it smells like. I put that down on Fragrantica, and then someone else has also agreed to that. Someone else has said it smells like Manifesto, and I didn't really get Manifesto from it. But there is a hint of Melio. So if you like Melio and you like the idea of a kind of black curranty Scarlet Poppy version of Melio, and you can get this for a good price, then Nuit Festive, you might like it. But Scarlet Poppy is nicer. Do you know what I mean? And I think you can get, I think they're around 20 something pounds for like a little mini bottle of Scarlet Poppy. I'm always wondering whether I should get it, but I haven't finished my samples. I've got the old version and the new version. So I really like Scarlet Poppy. I think Scarlet Poppy is lovely. And I think it's nicer than this. So it just depends on price. But if you really like L'Occitane perfumes, and you like Scarlet Poppy, and you like Melio and those kind of perfumes, then you might enjoy this one. It might be a good one for you. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I'm going to see whatever the message is that just popped up on my phone. I'm guessing that means my husband is on his way home. And let me know if you've got any of these, obviously. Let me know what you've been wearing this week. Let me know if you think I'm mad for any of the things I've said about this. I will put any of my Amazon affiliate links, because you can get the Choco Mask, the Chocolate Mask. You can get, sadly you can't get this anymore. I did double check to see whether Amazon could save us and they'd still have Fleur de Femme, but they don't. You can obviously get Angham. I'll put those affiliate links down underneath. Thank you to whoever. I think there's been maybe 1 or 2 people who have actually bought things via my links. And I mean, I only get like this a couple of p from each of those, you know what I mean, a couple of pence. But it was so sweet to see that. I was so grateful. Thank you so much, because it'll all build up at some point and I'll probably be able to buy myself a little Amazon perfume. So yeah, thank you so much. It's just so kind. Thank you for everyone who is subscribed to me. You are fantastic and wonderful and lovely. And the other thing for me to quickly mention, go over, I mean, I'm so sure that nearly everyone who's watching me also watches Claire Smith, who is another British perfume YouTuber, who she's absolutely wonderful. I sent her a bunch of samples, half of which were things I'd bought for myself, and half of which were things that the lovely Roxy had shared with me, but I've already reviewed. So I passed them on to Claire, and she literally just released a video with her thoughts on them. And if you really want to see 2 people smell things in a different way, it's always so fascinating, because I don't think she has the same reaction to that tarry aroma chemical that I do. So it's honestly, it's so fun to go and watch how she feels about, for instance, Jasmine Freak from room, what's it called, 1010 or something, 1015. So yeah, go and watch what she says, and then go and watch what I said, because I think it will be really funny. I was really chuckling while I was watching it. But yeah, so thanks again to Roxy for sharing, and thanks for Claire for enjoying them and making a video about some of the samples that I sent on to her. So that's it, I think, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing, because it really helps my channel a huge amount. And next time I talk to you, it's going to be December. I'm going to be in full Christmas mode, and I can't wait, because I've only got 2.5 weeks at work in December until I am on a mega holiday. And yeah, I'm going to be making a lot of videos, and you're going to be seeing a lot of videos in December. So come back soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.